My name's Natalie. I have recently passed both SQE1 and SQE2, and I've actually been admitted to the role under the new SQE route. So I'm now a qualified solicitor in England and Wales as of August 30th this year. I suppose I struggled with seeing lots of people, obviously other paralegals, trainee solicitors. Often I would be helping them and showing them things what to do, having had such a vast experience in the area that I've worked in for so long, that often it was sort of a goal for me that I never thought I would achieve. So the SQE for me was sort of a rainbow through a cloud, if you like. I don't really know how else to describe it, but that kind of, yeah, this is my time now, do it, this is going to make you qualify and you will qualify. And so for me it was like an own goal, that was why I wanted to do it, to get qualified. Having done the LPC, I did consider that the SQE would be very similar in sort of formatting and how it was going to work. But having been out of education for the best part of 10 years, it's a lot to sort of go from doing no education and then trying to sit some exams, irrespective of how much experience you have. With that in mind, I thought it's sensible that I do a preparatory course purely for my own, to ensure that I have done everything possible to try and qualify, and there's no sort of ill feeling at the end that if the exams went wrong, that I could have gone, well, I should have done a preparation course and have expended money in trying to do that and not getting anywhere with it. The reason I chose QLTS was from both a competitive pricing structure, but also they seemed the most informative, and they had what seemed like good knowledge of the potential exams that hadn't even come into an existence yet. So I thought they would be the best to use all round, really. I found the information provided by QLTS was really helpful. It was really detailed, and they provided a lot of materials. The books were really good. Everything was above and beyond anything else I'd seen from the other providers. In relation to SQE1, I would probably say the mock questions were the most beneficial. They got you ready and practicing how the exam was going to be on the day, so that was really helpful for myself. Similarly, on part 2 of the SQE, the practice questions again and the actual mock exams with an assessor, I found particularly useful as well. I suppose it is difficult as working full-time, trying to put aside any time, especially after COVID when everybody wants to be out and doing whatever. I did find it particularly difficult to put time aside, especially given how busy we were at work. But I did try and do at least a couple of hours on an evening after work and as much of a weekend as possible. However, the closer it got to each exam, obviously I would dedicate more time as appropriate. My firm were beyond helpful. They helped me through all the stresses of the exams and the preparation. It wasn't just a case of the team were helping me, it was the entire firm. If I had any questions, they would all step in where necessary. You know, they allowed me the time off when I needed to because they knew how much this meant to me, and they were determined to see me qualify as much as I was. I suppose no one ever truly feels ready for an exam, but given the time frames that I had and the time I could commit to preparing for the exams, I felt like I'd try to put in 110% as much as I could, which thankfully have paid off. Obviously, having qualified, that makes a massive difference to me. People are always a bit confused how I've qualified quite so quickly, having done the exams, given the traditional route. But certainly, you know, having that title makes a massive difference. Also, with it being a brand new exam, everyone's really intrigued by it. You know, even just doing this alone, I think it's really positive to let everyone know that it is a good thing and it is going to be good in due course, and it's the new way to qualify, and it's not as scary as everyone thinks it is. I would recommend to anyone to do a preparation course for both the SQE1 and SQE2. I think it was the core reason I passed the SQE1, due to the fact that having been in education so long ago and trying to remember that far back would have just been impossible. But also in terms of SQE2, despite doing it on a job on a day-to-day basis, I think it makes a massive difference because you're learning about what should happen in an exam, and sometimes in practice it's not always quite the same as to what an exam's looking for. So yeah, 110% do a preparation course. I think this is quite a difficult question purely because much depends on people's experience and backgrounds. I certainly think that the more preparation the better. I would never underestimate the amount of preparation that would be required to pass the SQE, as I know some people sometimes think it's the easy way to qualify, but I can assure you it is not. I would put in as much as you can to prepare, get a preparation course, and I would allow at least 6 months for preparation for each exam at least. I think it's certainly having or ensuring that your clients put trust in you and confidence and relationship build. I think as well also making sure that you can keep up with the current change in law, and also even what COVID's brought us, use Teams, use IT skills, and I think that makes a massive difference now. You know, there is a wider access to client base, so I think certainly from a modern lawyer is being able to use that resource of Teams, Skype, things like that, but also just making sure you've got your client's best interests at heart and try and resolve things as quickly as possible.